Hey, good morning. This is day 4 of 5 of going over working with a buyer. Doug Smith, DHS Realty broker owner. And yesterday morning, we finished with the inspection was over. We negotiated either repairs or no repairs on an amendment. We know that at 5 p.m. on the number of days in the contract to terminate that are in paragraph 5, your buyer is now basically locked in. The option expires. There's some agents that believe that you can terminate just when you send over an amendment. And again, you can ask for anything during your option. An amendment does not terminate a contract. So you don't want to upset the seller, but realize that you basically can ask for anything during your option period, and the seller can get extremely upset, but they don't have a right to terminate. So after the inspection's done, after you finalize everything, now it's after the option time, so it's about 5 p.m. and 1 second on the option day. You're locked in. That's a time when you want to just touch base every week or so with the buyer, communicate with the buyer's lender, make sure everything's going good. Ask the buyer to start checking on homeowner's insurance, which is commonly referred to as hazard insurance. They need to go ahead and accept a insurance company's binder. That binder is going to be sent to the buyer's lender so that they can work on closing disclosure. The closing disclosure is given to the buyer 3 days before closing. If you want to access that to look at, you're going to need the buyer to sign something called a TILA form, Truth in Lending Authorization. It's going to allow you to get a copy of the closing disclosure. I'm a big believer in that. You want to advocate for your client, so you absolutely want to look at that closing disclosure, explain it in a simplified way to the buyer. You're going to just stay in touch with everybody. Touch base with the listing agent. Hey, how is everything going? Repairs, just reminding you the seller's going to be out on the day of closing. Maybe there's a lease back. You're going to work out how to transfer the keys. Maybe you're polite to the listing agent and ask if when you do the walkthrough the day of closing, about an hour before closing, an hour before closing, you do a walkthrough on the house. Maybe ask the listing agent if you can grab the key box and a sign for them to help them out. Maybe take it to the title company and leave it to establish a good relationship with the listing agent, because you might be working with that listing agent in the future. So that's what you do. You basically quarterback the transaction, stay in touch with everybody, make sure that everybody's on the same page. Go ahead and set up a closing time for your buyer at 9 or 10 a.m. on the day of closing. Go ahead and communicate with the seller agent. Ask them if they have a time set up. Make sure that their time set up for the seller isn't 4 p.m. on a last day of the month, or 4 p.m. really on any business day, because we don't want to play with the option of the property not funding the day of closing. So that's what you basically do up until the day of closing. And after you do the walkthrough, you look at the buyer and you tell the buyer, hey, follow me to the title company. If I hit a yellow light, I'm going to stop. Again, if you hit a yellow light, what you don't want is the buyer to pull up behind you, read the back of your car for 10 minutes and see political stickers that you voted for Trump or Biden, any kind of obscene stickers on the back of your car. You don't want a little sticker of a kid peeing on something. You don't want to, if you're a scuba diver, you don't want any kind of phallic type of stickers that have a double meaning. Divers do it deeper or anything like that. Just grow up. You're a realtor. You're going to be representing people in their biggest investment ever, minus their kids. So act like a professional. That's what we get here at DHS Realty. We not only advocate for you, we tell you some things that you might want to put in the trash can, like your political beliefs while you're out with a buyer, because the chances are the buyer didn't vote for who you voted for, since we're very divisive as a country. And even though you got them under contract, what you want to do is get them for all their future business, and you want all their family and friends to work with you. And nothing like screwing the whole deal up as they're following you to the closing table and they pull up behind you at a stoplight and start reading your car stickers. So tomorrow will be day 5 of working with a buyer. It'll be the conclusion, and we'll talk about what happens when you pull into the parking lot of the title company and you walk in, and what happens at closing. Y'all be safe. Looks like a beautiful day, July 1. It's hump month. We're halfway through the year. It's exciting. Go get some.